Ladies and gentlemen, iyouxin is here, and today I would like to announce the beginning of this year's charity project to support my home country, Ukraine. Last year, we were working with the Bamberg UA that was actually founded by Ukrainian students at the University of Bamberg, and they're doing an amazing job at delivering help from all of the countries of Europe to help Ukraine. And from the previous year, with the help of the community, we have collected money to buy tourniquets. This is equipment to stop the bleeding of the wounded people. And we even managed to get an ambulance car. This year, we're gonna continue working with them. And in this summer, I went to visit their facility in Bamberg to show you a little bit of behind the scenes of their work. Until the end of this year, all of the donations from our community will go directly to Bamberg UA. I'm going to connect their PayPal to our donate button on Twitch, and that way we can get notifications on the stream and we can see how much our community will be able to contribute towards this project. To participate, all you need to do is click the donation link that you can find in the description of this video, on the Discord and on Twitch. Following the link, you will get redirected to the PayPal page where the donations will be transferred directly to the PayPal account of Bamberg UA. But this is not all. At the end of my visit to Bamberg UA, I received this armor plate. It was a part of a batch of plates that were provided to the Ukraine from European countries, and in Ukraine, before you deliver this to the soldiers, you really want to make sure that this is level 4 and you can trust your soldiers' lives with this plate. So the plate was tested with a Kalashnikov from the girl that you already seen in the previous year, and you will see later in the video. She shot this plate from a distance of 100 meters, and as you can see, 3 direct hits, and we have a little dent at the end. And you have a chance to receive this plate with interesting history for yourself. Person that will donate the most through the PayPal will get this plate. At the end of the charity project on December 31, I'm going to sign it from iyouxin to the biggest oil prints, and here is going to be your name. Sadly, it will only work through PayPal as we cannot track other donations. If you are unable to use PayPal, you can still support a good cause through bank transfer. More information you can find in the description of the video, on the Discord and on Twitch. As you guys know, the war keeps dragging on and the situation of many Ukrainians is still very difficult. So I want to say thank you for everyone who donate even the smallest amount, because together we can make a huge difference. Lastly, I want to mention that I won't be streaming from December 23 until December 27. I'm going to visit my fiancée to celebrate Christmas. Apart from those days and Sundays, I will be streaming every day until the end of the year, so make sure to join Twitch and say hello. And now, let me introduce you to just a few members of the Bamberg UA, organization that is helping Ukraine from Germany, and you will see behind the scenes of their work.
This is the Bamberg UA warehouse in Nuremberg. This is where we collect humanitarian aid, which is then going to be transferred to Ukraine. For instance, what we do, we are cooperating with different doctors, medical institutions, private medical institutions. This medical equipment was donated from one medical institution from the region. So the doctor was renovating his whole institute and donated the old stuff because he bought new one to us. These are special medical chairs for people with disabilities. Those are important because in Ukraine right now a lot of people get injured. So not only soldiers from the front line, but also civilians get injured by daily bombing attacks from Russian Federation. And those are going to rehabilitation institutions in Ukraine where they are very much needed. So what might be important to say is that we are not only getting donations in like small amounts, like one ultrasonic device or like a few medical beds. We are also getting donations in like lorry size, so big amounts from one big donor. Those might be medical equipment. We are, for example, just last week delivered I would say around 600 kilograms of surgery equipment. So just surgery clothing and everything. We're getting those from the German producers themselves. And here we are sitting on a pile of 1.5 million FFP2 masks. And the story we got them, it was very funny because summer last year we were already preparing for winter. So what we urgently needed was thermal clothes for the military. So because this is of course winter in Ukraine, up to -20 degrees, just urgently needed. So we had this offer for like 1.5 million masks, and it was, I guess, a few thousand complex or thermal underwear, which was very important. And I back then said, we are taking the thermal underwear, we are not going to take the masks. And the donor said, you either take everything or nothing, which we did. And then in autumn we have transferred the thermal underwear to Ukraine, and now we are sitting on a pile of masks. But what is, and this is really not funny, but also kind of fortune, right? You can say it's fortune. Because right now in Ukraine, there is, people are afraid and special forces are afraid that Russia is bombing the nuclear power plant in Zaporizhia. This is why big cities around are now urgently asking for FFP2 masks. So like, we all know that's not going to be the thing to keep yourself safe, but it helps. It kind of helps when you change them a lot, when you might be wearing a few of them. So when there might be a nuclear power plant explosion, because Russia has shelled the power plant in Zaporizhia, we will have donated in the next weeks 1.5 million masks to Ukraine, so people can somehow at least protect themselves from the nuclear radiation. Yeah. So we kept them here for a few months, and now unfortunately they are very much needed. So this is only part of our to us donated fire extinguishers. Fun fact, we can't transport them.
Why?
They are old and they are highly explosive and extremely dangerous to transport. And as we are transporting all our humanitarian aid in, for example, medical cars and so on, we are not interested in any explosions on the road. It's a 1,000 and a few hundred kilometers drive, likely without any explosions.
But what do you need it for?
So what are we going to do with them? We are going to do a tiny do-it-yourself recycling project, because we cannot use them as fire extinguishers anymore. So we found this cool metal guy in Germany. So he's going to recycle them. He's going to use the metal for stoves. And those stoves are later going to the front line in Ukraine for either heating or cooking purposes, or both. Mm-hmm. And there is something I have brought for you from Ukraine. This is a level 4 armor plate. On February 24th last year in 2022, probably every humanitarian or every volunteer organization in Europe tried to get those. The Ukrainian military did not have enough of those plates. And this one was shot for testing purposes. So we are taking, let's say, for example, there was a transport delivered to Ukraine having 500 of those plates. So you would from every charge take like 10 of those and test shoot them, whether they are safe to hand them over to soldiers. And this one was shot with a AK-47 on a distance of around 100 meters for test purposes.
Would the soldiers survive?
He would survive, but as you can see on the other side, can you feel that?
Yeah, a little bump.
Yeah, it's not a little bump, it's a huge one. It's a huge bump, and you will probably have broken ribs for sure. You might also have some inner bleedings because the pressure is very high. So, but he would survive. Well, better to have a few broken ribs than a bullet in your belly, right? AK-47 test proof armor plate from Ukraine. That's
Okay.
one for you.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And as I mentioned before, this level 4 armor plate is going to be delivered to the person that will donate the most through PayPal, signed by me with your name. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm eternally grateful for everyone who will join this charity event to help my home country. Thank you for watching, guys, and we will see you on Twitch.